So we come to this island and it's sunny, drink, girls, drugs. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was just,
It's hard to explain, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, people talk about the Ibiza, the feeling and the whole, it'll never lose it. It just changes. But for us then, I think there was lots of stuff going on. We love Ibiza.
We still love it.
We still love Ibiza.
It's like a marriage, isn't it?
It's a hard one to stay in, but you do.
Yeah, you do.
Weather the storm, you talk to each other, communicate, you share your views and saying what you're not happy about, and then it all comes back together again.
Hello and welcome to the Ibiza Hall of Fame podcast with myself, Clara, and with Big Al. Today we are sat with a true icon of Ibiza's hedonistic golden era. He helped shape the island's legendary party spirit through his energy, charisma and unforgettable sets. We welcome Brandon Block into the Ibiza Hall of Fame. Welcome, Brandon.
I'm honoured, thank you. Big Al, good to see you. Hi, Karen. Nice to meet you both. Oh, back, hips, knees.
So we're here to learn and hear all about your Ibiza story, from when you first started to when you came first to the islands. We would like to know, first of all, when did you first come into Ibiza?
Well, weirdly, my journey to Ibiza actually was probably started with him.
Right, with
because as we were saying earlier before the podcast started, I drove him and Carl, who was his partner at the time, drove him mad to play at Broadway Boulevard, which was a nightclub in Ealing where they used to do Thursday nights called the AZK, which was Acid House Night.
Zigzag Club. AZK was the other one.
No, sorry,
Zigzag
was it?
Club.
Zigzag. Sorry, Zigzag. Yes, right. So it was the Acid House Club in our area. So he gave me my break basically, and from then it was, I say the old cliche, the rest is history. So
it is. Yeah.
It was, and on the back of that night, I played at every single party they put on. But in the meantime, I was also friends with Charlie Chester, who's another huge, player. Yeah. And Charlie had this idea to come here, and he was the first one that brought DJs and bands to Ibiza after the famous five: Nicky, Johnny, Paul.
Not exactly
Trevor.
true. Not exactly, because you're talking about the Ibiza 90 trip.
Yes.
But me and Trevor and people like that had already done it in '88.
But en masse. Charlie brought a lot of people.
Yeah, with Tommy as well. Tommy was a part of that trip as well.
The bands, and the Trial was Screaming, the Weather was Farley. So he brought a lot. I mean, I know you've been doing it.
No, Charlie, because we were a part of the same 1990 trip.
Right, okay. So
a lot of it was shot at La Passion as well, wasn't it?
So Charlie said, I'm going to do I came out the year before with Charlie to do the reconnaissance mission. Yeah. So I came out of Chester. We had some fun around the island, let's say, and that was my sort of introduction, which was, I think, in '89, if I'm not wrong. So I came with Chester, and then obviously the year after, it might have been previous, it was early that '90, and he came back, and he never booked me to come. Would you believe? I came out with a reconnaissance.
I booked you a lot at the beginning, didn't I? Them early years.
I mean, when Charlie did it, and I thought, I'm definitely going to come on the trip, and he never booked me.
Really? You weren't actually on the Ibiza 90 trip?
No.
That's weird.
It was weird. And then, but all of a sudden, between that, myself and Alex had hooked up in London. We'd heard about each other because obviously we were quite out there partying. But we'd never actually bumped into it. Anyway, Alex tells a story when he first met at AZK, when you booked him, and I was on my lunchtime session after my lunchtime session at Haven Stables. Yeah. So I'd gone out to the Grange in Ealing, come back to do AZK. Alex was warming up. I jumped on.
Is that the first time you met Alex?
Yeah, properly. Yeah. I was out of my nut. I come on, sort of egged him out of the way, pour a load of thing on the record, let him get rid of it, and then the record came to an end, and I jumped on. He'll tell it again. The record was
covered in.
Just couldn't get to the end. So I got on the decks, and then I put on, I think it was Third World, Now That We Found Love, and I put it on and jumped on top of the decks. You used to climb on the decks, and it just went. And that was the first time we met. So we kept in touch from then.
I'm glad it was. I didn't know that story, so I'm glad it was me that got you two together on one of our.
Well, yeah, it was down to you again. And then he said to me, he said, well, he come to Ibiza in the summer. He said, I've got a club. And I went, oh, lovely. So anyway, my best mate got this old Baggy, bless him. We said at the beginning of 91, 1990. We just said, right, we're going to Ibiza, and that was it. We just dropped everything, got on a plane, came out here, met up with some friends, and some other guys who was just staying in apartments. We stayed in San Antonio. I saw Alex that night. He'd been out and driven the bus from the famous bus driver. He came up the next morning, swore and threw beer all over me, and then left. So I met him down at Cafe Del Mar that night. He said, "Oh dear, come to Space in the morning, bring your records." He said, "Come and DJ with me." So me and Baggy took 5 boxes of records, got to Space, put the records behind the bar with Alex's, played alongside him for the whole day, and he said, "Do you want a job?" And I went, "Yeah." And Pepe went, "Right, here."
So you're in
Social security number, employment, everything, and it was from that day one. And that was that was pretty much in a short term how it happened.
It was crazy them early days.
Oh mate, it was just.
It's hard to explain, isn't it?
Yeah.
People talk about the Ibiza, the feeling and the whole, and it'll never lose it. It just changes. But for us, I think there was lots of stuff going on, and we just came together. The club scene had just erupted, with a newfound love, energy, music, openness to different, genres of music.
Well, all our lot has suddenly worked out about the Balearic beat as well as the house music.
But it all culminated, it all got together,
didn't it?
Because don't forget, I've said this recently to people. We grew up in the best era for music.
Yeah.
I mean, we had.
Well, it was new, wasn't it?
Yeah, but not just talking about the dance music. I'm talking about before that. In the 80s, let's say, we had. I remember watching Top of the Pops. There was 9 different genres of music in the top 10. So rock, pop, funk, soul, disco, new romantic, punk,
very
ska,
diverse, wasn't it?
Everything.
Very diverse.
We had all that music. Whether you said I'm a skinhead or I'm a rude boy or I'm a punk or anything, you would go to those records. It doesn't matter if you were into it at the time. You would remember them and you'd like them now, regardless. So we had all that. But all separate because you had different cultures, and then it all just came together.
But the house movement was just a phenomenal start, wasn't
it? It's not a revolution; it's evolution. Changed the face of music ever.
Completely,
Music, totally.
Famously, the owner of Broadway Boulevard, Ender Lyons, he famously said, "This ain't going to last long." We're still going nearly 40 years later.
Yeah, Ender and Ammo, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, look, you say it's still going. It's changed. It's never going to change. It's never going to go back. That's it. It's done now, and it's just this is how it is now.
Yeah, it's just slightly different genres of the same thing.
But I mean, it's that whole thing about dance music, isn't it? Festivals, the biggest thing, the huge concerts that go on now regularly, which are. Artists that have...
little thing we began back in 87, 88 is turned into a massive, massive thing.
Changed the world.
Yeah, it's changed the world.
Changed the world. It's not a...
in London it was, the likes of Danny Randling with Shum, myself and Spectrum and Heaven and all them kind of things, and me with Zigzag Club and Tommy out in Maidenhead doing it, his thing. I mean, there was little pockets here, there and everywhere.
Everywhere. All over the country, though. All over the country. Hacienda.
It exploded, didn't it? It exploded.
Suddenly.
Can I just ask, because obviously during that era, especially the golden era of the 90s, did you find a lot of producers who were getting on top of the Ibiza kind of vibe in terms of let's make music that kind of replicates?
I think Oakenfold was the first one to tap into it.
Well, Oakie made Dance with the Devil, didn't he? Which was a tune which became massive, and then obviously Jabaro, Elkan Nelson, the Balearic Beat, and the Balearic Beats album was an epitome of Farley put together that Balearic Beats album, which is incredible. The Spectrum Eye, all those tunes even that Jesus on the Payroll, Flashing Doves, and all this sort of weird Balearic sound.
Of course.
So there was none of that thinking in the 90s. There was no all producers. There's no Ibiza. This is the Ibiza sound. It wasn't like that. No one was even thinking like that. We were just partying and enjoying each other's company and enjoying the ambience and the whole, the freedom and you can get down that woo-woo.
But the freedom was amazing on this island, wasn't it?
Oh my God, it was
can you imagine we were young boys, weren't we?
Yes.
So we come to this island and it's sunny, drink, girls, drugs. It was crazy. It was crazy, wasn't it?
It was.
And it's hard to explain.
Something that we need.
We'd never seen it before. None of us had ever seen anything like it.
Because you was constricted to for us we'd go to discotheques in London and
we changed discotheques.
Great clubs. But then you came here, and the Space Terrace, which Alex and James created, and then we championed and made what it was the first after hours club open air club ever in the world.
I heard, yeah.
And do you know what? People used to stop going out on Saturday nights and wake up 6 o'clock on Sunday morning to go to Space.
Yeah,
because it was, you imagine dancing in the sun all day long and having no worries and cares. And
with the DC-10 going over your head.
DC-10, yeah, the plane, they were so loud, and it was that whole woo.
Everyone going like, that's what everyone did, didn't they? Yeah.
You mentioned after hours, so kind of what hours were they like?
So Alan know this. So Pepe owns Space, Pepe Rosillo, he had number 2 owns the ground and the club and the area basically. So, but he rented the club space to Pep. Pep had a license, Cafe Concerto license, which had a clause in it which went, it's a 24-hour license to serve food, drink, and I think dance, but you had to shut for an hour at some point during the day. So he had the idea that he would shut in the morning between like 5 and 6, and then what happened? He's opened space inside because you couldn't allow music outside until 9 or 10, I think it was.
Right, okay.
But you could have music, and then inside would be Carl Cox, heavy
It's hard techno. It was proper techno.
Yeah.
I hated it.
But DJ Reche, Vandy, Cesar, all the Spanish, really good
hard techno.
But it's called.
It was tough. We called it tough.
Really, it's such a. You go in space in the morning, you think, oh God, I'm going to lose myself in space, and you do, because pitch black, and you've got little LEDs on the ceiling, and that was pretty much it.
But when Alex turned up Alex was talking to Pepe, wasn't he? And the cloakroom outside, Alex said to him, "Can't we do it here?" And that was the start. That was the beginning, wasn't it?
Yeah. Him and Jamie, they financed it. Alex filled the bar up. Because they used to rent bars from club owners back in the day. Yeah. So people used to go to work the season in Ibiza. They'd rent the bar from the club owners. They'd stock the bar, and then this is why you get to know people, because you go to
pay a fee for doing it. Yeah.
So you go, like, if you go to Space, we're going to Pepe's bar, because Pepe's bar's on the left, and you know Pep, and you go, right, you drinks with him.
I mean, the early days, because Alex was English and you guys were DJing and all the rest of it, it was all the English out there. Mainly, it was all the English, wasn't it? And there was a lot of us, wasn't there? Yeah. So and the brilliant thing about the Space morning session, there weren't anywhere else to go at that point. Everyone had come out the clubs, so that was where everybody went from all the clubs,
from all over the world.
Yeah.
And DJs, workers. It was the most multicultural mix of clubbing madness.
And the first of its kind.
First of its kind. And it transcended, it doesn't sound like this, but it made this art, it did something for this island. That whole thing changed the demographic of how clubbing went. And it looked on the back of that, it just went.
I mean, now look at it now, there's daytime parties all the time now.
But they're trying to put a stop to that. But that was a unique thing back then, it really was. And to be part of that.
Hats off to Alex, brilliant.
Fair play to him. And what a vision. Yeah. And to be part of that whole evolution is incredible. And it put me on a map in a way that's I
mean, that year he opened that, he was actually my resident in Pachá. So he was my resident on Mad Mondays, he was my resident at S Paradise on a Thursday, and he was also playing for some he was getting gigs, he was doing the inside as well, wasn't he? He was doing the techno stuff inside as well, the Space. It's mental though, isn't it? I mean, completely different sets on it. Anyway, some of the questions we asked, Brandon, so the magic of Ibiza, it obviously bitten you, that we know it's bitten you, but what's your take on it? Is it spiritual? Is it magnetic? What is it? What's your take?
I think it's a number of things. For me, I think it's a bit of everything. I think I was lost, a bit of escapism, spiritual, definitely. There was a feeling. You can't describe it. You can't bottle it. If
Do you still get that feeling when you come on this?
Yeah, well, I think I always get a little. I always get a little buzz when you get to the airport. Yeah. I did lose it a bit for a while back. But you think about the memories, and you think about what it means to you, and it all comes back. And yes, it's magnetic. Yes, it's spiritual. Yes, there's friends, communities. I mean, watching it evolve. Being part of.
It's like a big family, isn't it?
Of course it is, and watching things evolve, like by Lineker's and having that go, and then obviously watching True Bildo Beach, and watching washing roofs come on, roofs go off, terraces open, terraces shut. Like big clubs.
Clubs change name.
There you go. Like my two favourite clubs, or well, they're not both favourite, but they're all favourites. But Koo and Space are now changed, and I've got such great memories of Koo.
Koo, it's three to three change. No, four. So Koo, Privilege, and now Universe.
Yeah, and so I've got great memories of them clubs, and great memories of Space, obviously, which is probably my my most treasured memories of space. But Esparadis.
I love Esparadis. I mean, Esparadis. It was always beautiful.
Beautiful.
Pepe
We did
loves that club.
clockwork and your night there. Yeah. And then all the other nights that I'd run my own night there at one point. And that season that me and Alex did Space, back then, there was only one night a week that a club would open.
Right.
En masse. So Mondays would be bad on Mondays.
I tried to explain this to the people, that if I had put 6,000 people in Pachard, everywhere else was empty. Because there wasn't so much tourism.
No, there wasn't enough people to go around.
Yeah, there wasn't.
But also, the clubs knew it. So they had one night which was good for them. So Amnesia would be on a Tuesday. Wednesday would be Esparadis. Thursday would be Fascia. Coup would be Thursday. Friday would be Space on Saturday. Space on Sundays. And they would open one night. But then obviously tourism and a lot of people come in. So they could open more nights. Then promoters came. So they were bringing their crowd from England or from Spain, from Holland, from Germany, from everything else, and that happened. And then it just organically grew into the mammoth thing that it is now. And there's every single night of the week there's clubs on, and daytime parties.
Most of them are busy as well.
Morning parties. Well, they're all busy to a certain extent. I think
Universe hurt a little bit last year.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, because it's so big. Because they put in like 15,000 in there.
Well, they did 17,000 on the opening, I saw, or something like that.
I mean, that's a lot of people,
What's
isn't
the full capacity now?
Well, obviously 17,000 if they put
17.
that through the doors, yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, yes, but...
they've taken away the pool, haven't they? So that's a big area.
Yeah.
And the stage just seems to be using more of it. It's like, and they've opened it up rather than all the nooks and crannies. They've made it into a great big open area, haven't they now?
Yeah.
And they've got other rooms as well.
But I just think, but it's that you can sort of half guarantee that the clubs are going to be busy most nights. I mean, if you come every year and the conversation is, it's a late season, it's late starting.
I said for years that the season's too short. We should start earlier and finish later. The clubs wouldn't do it. No one would do it, and I kept saying it. But now they're doing it.
People now prepare for coming in April, and they're preparing opening like
When it's April, we're all here.
Yeah, exactly. So of course there's a market for it, and that whole thing about that's the conversation. Which nights is busy? That one's struggling. That one's. But they don't. They all have their nights, and they're all going to be busy, and they're all everyone's going to enjoy themselves. So
some places have a better season than the other place. They all obviously last year University was their first year. They were full every night, weren't they? So and they took the 7 best nights on the island, and so of course they were going to be busy.
Yeah,
of course they were going to be busy.
There's never really a bad season here.
No.
It's always it always ends up being. The closing parties, you can tell, they're always mental. So, Brian, another question I like to ask is, who's your favourite DJ? From here or everywhere?
Well, you can have a couple, but you can do from everywhere and from here.
I don't have one particular. I have many. Look, my mentor's John Jules.
Yeah,
our mate from London. Yeah. I grew up with Johnny, and Johnny's from Wembley.
One of my residents at Broadway Boulevard.
Well, exactly. So, all round, as a DJ goes, for me, Jules, he has everything.
Musically, everything.
He has everything. If I'm talking about DJs who've played sets who I really admire, I've got loads of. They're all my peers. Norman J, Ricky Morrison, Sasha. All of them in their day have heard Carl Cox, man. God, he's a legend. We've all had moments, and I think I admire all the DJs because at the end of the day they've all crafted their trade.
We're all mates now as well,
and we're all mates. But we've been doing it 40 years now.
We're all mates. Yeah.
If you can imagine doing a job, let's say a job, or doing something you love.
Who would have thought it?
For 40 years. And still be here and come through.
Who would have thought it? I mean,
I didn't think I was going to be here, mate, to be honest.
Well, so nor did I.
Well, you didn't think I was going to be here either. So look, even to be very grateful. I'm grateful to sit here with you and talk about this because 30 years ago, chances are it would have been very unlikely I was going to last. So I have to keep reining myself in and think about things differently because, do you know what I mean? Oh God, but
I'm always a glass half full. I mean, tomorrow's
this is glass full, mate. This is glass full all the time, and I'm 60 next year. 60, man.
65, mate. I'm 65.
I was saying I spoke to Graham Gold the other day. He's 70.
I know, it's mad, isn't it?
70 years old, mate.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
So, I mean, look, whatever goes on in life, we've got to be happy. We're sitting in Ibiza talking about the past and talking about what's happening now.
It's all good, isn't it?
It's wonderful.
Talking about that, what would you say that your most like memorable moments over the years have been in Ibiza?
Here?
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't. There's too many.
Every night.
What really stands out for you?
The ones I can't remember were fantastic. Oh, what is it? I had so many. There was.
There's too many crazy stories. I know what's going through your head.
We don't want to get anyone in trouble.
Don't want to get anyone. I want to get me in trouble. I'm a different. But look, here's one. It's a nice one.
Okay.
It's a nice one. So I had this habit of because I was so immersed in the love and peace and I love everyone at Space. I used to throw my vinyl out as a thing at the end of the day.
What, like,
give people records as you know as a token of my love and I'd throw it to the crowd and they go, oh, I'll catch a record. I had someone send me a photo on Instagram of a record I'd thrown into the crowd and they'd kept for 30 years and I'd signed it before I give it anyway. So this one week I was so immersed in the love, let's say, I gave all my records out.
No, you've got nothing left to play.
I gave one bag. I had like one bag. I threw them all. I gave them all out. I dished them out to people, and then they said at the end, one more. And then someone ran back up to the dance floor and give me a tune back. I played one more.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
That was a nice one. I mean, the others are mental. There's some
are undescribable. Most of those.
I think undescribable, you know, but it's all about excess and you know, people know the hedonism and you know,
which we all did.
We all did. I wasn't unique in that, you know, but we experimented, and here was like the
perfect place.
The lab, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Everything worked here. The clubs are incredible. The people are incredible.
And the freedom is the thing that I love the most.
Oh man, I'm glad we're talking about this because I've got so many fond memories of this place, you know.
Well, we were saying yesterday how accepting this island is.
It is. Yeah, there's a lot more control than there used to be.
But you know what? This is probably the history of the island. It's always been. It was for hippies, pirates. You know, Bob Marley did his last concert here, didn't he, in the Bullring?
Well, the Americans, so they didn't have to get put in the army. They came here in the Second World War.
I heard that the Romans used to come here for a chill out. The soldiers back in the day. Yeah, they used to say, right, you've been working hard, go because the Romans liked the party, didn't they? Yeah. Do you imagine back then? Right here, you lot.
Rest your sword.
You lot been bang at it this summer. Go try Ibiza for a chill out. Hey! Can you imagine? So the Romans turn up, you know, imagine what goes on then.
Well, they're still coming in August, the Romans.
Yeah, so, I mean, look, that Bullring, what a venue that is. Can you imagine someone doing something with that again?
Well, I mean, the Hippodrome, I tried to do something there at one point.
They won't have it anymore, will they?
No, they won't.
So it's next to the racetrack, that's why, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, you know...
Nicky Holloway did the Quarry and...
the Quarry, God, with parties at the Quarry.
Yeah.
I remember I climbed up with Roy the Roach, we climbed up the Quarry one after.
Up the wall.
Well, up the whole thing. We was like, before we knew it, was at the top, that 400 foot up, looking at the dancers going, oh, we better get down. But, I mean, like, me and Alex played the opening of Blue Marlin. Yeah. When Isidoro bought it. Isidoro come to see us, he went, I bought this bar on the beach at Calliope, can you come and play? And we went, yep. Yeah. So we went there, Blue Marlin, lovely bar, played there, and look what happened to that.
Well, listen, he sold it to Yellow, and now it's Blue Marlin. But I mean, Isidore, he's a good friend of mine. He was a manager at Amnesia.
But yeah, I love Izzy. And Tony Roach was there before Izzy.
I love Isidore. I think he's a lovely man.
Oh, I love Izzy. I still keep in touch with him now.
So do I. Yeah,
he's great. He's got a place in Barcelona.
Yeah.
So, how fortunate to meet these wonderful people throughout your life, and still be friends to this day.
Still be friends to this day. Yeah. I actually see him. I went to his restaurant in Barcelona.
DJ Pippi. Yeah. DJ Cesar Malero. Part of a grown-up Carlos Diaz. All these people we used to knock round together, and to be with that Roberto Ernesto from Tahiti, and then from now from Amnesia, Zenith, Global Room at Pasha. They did, didn't they? So you know, we was very fortunate to have all these friends back then, because it was that community, and it was like going from like you said, 6,000 people will go from there to there to there to there, and then meet up again the next night at the other club. You know, so it was very unique and very cool back then. Yeah. Not say it's not cool now, but we were lucky that's how the community created.
It was a community and a family. That's what it was.
It really was. And you'd meet up every night, and if you weren't every night, you'd meet up in the day anyway, because you'd be bang on the piss again.
We had a lot of energy back then, didn't we?
Oh, unbounded energy.
It's every single day and every single night.
I remember, so look, this is when me and Alex, we'd been out one night, and everyone who's watching, I know it's about, me and Alex did a lot of stuff here together, because we were sort of arm in arm at the time.
Brothers.
Hey?
Brothers.
Yeah, and we'd been out, and I remember we we climbed out of a window somewhere, and we were like, we'd been out for 3 or 4 days, I don't know, but we were gasping for water. We had no money, there was nothing. I remember we was walking to the back of San Antonio, and we came round the back near the Accor Hotel, which is on the backside.
I stayed there many times. Now that massive hotel's there.
Yeah, so we were walking down the front towards, where, let's say, where the back of Kenya is going to be now. So we walked down the end, and we've walked past that little bit, and there's no water. And we found that we gasping for water. So we managed to scrounge a few potatoes to get some veggie catalan.
I love veggie catalan.
Oh, it's the best thing. So we did that, and then we walked up the end there, and there's just a saltwater pool stuck at the end of that pay, right? A saltwater pool on the edge, stuck at the end, a little pub, and we went, what the hell's this gaff? Anyway, we've seen the little Spanish man in the bar. We've gone in. He said, oh, hola. He said, ¿Cómo te llamas? He said, I'm Juan. He said, hello, Juan. You drink cerveza? He said, sí. And it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. So we've gone, oh, lovely. We'll have a couple of beers, shall we? Yeah. And he said, we served us drink, and we start getting drunk, or start having a drink and that. And then we said, we have no money. He said, you come later, tomorrow, whatever. He said, go and sit by the pool. And we sit by this pool, and we go, we like this gaff. And he said, yeah,
Kenya.
But it's not called Kenya. It's called something different.
Okay.
It's called, whatever it is, his little bar. And we're sitting on this pool, down our feet in this pool. It's salt water, by the way. Just come out of the sea.
Yeah.
And we think, oh, this is not a bad gaff to come and chill out for the day.
It was right on the peninsula. It was right in the edge.
Just the pool, rocks and a pool and a bar. So we'd already sort of started the Cafe Del Mar thing, and obviously been there, but we thought, today, because there's no pool down there, is it? But we've got a pool here, we've got a pool. So we tell everyone, well, we've got a pool, we can see it by the daytime. I've actually got a photo of me and my dad.
When did Tony Onetto go in there and start doing it?
Yeah, but that was like so when we started, then everyone started coming to Kenya, and we all sitting around the pool, and the bar got busy, and he was very grateful. He said, thank you for bringing people, blah, blah, blah. And I think the year later, Tony and Crankle
came in and got a part of it,
they bought it and changed it into Kenya, and then that Kenya started. Yeah. And then obviously they built up, they built the sunset, the sun views. So they built all that, then he built that, and he built that, then he built that. So yeah, but the first...
Is that even there now?
Yeah, but it's not the... I mean, there's got 3 pools, they've got the Sunset View apartments, there's 3 blocks of apartments, there's a couple of nightclubs underneath, Monkey Club, and they're still busy, I think. They're still there, but it's not like, there's 3 different pools. And
it was great back there, Kenya. I mean, I went there obviously I was running around doing the beaches, and that was the place every day you'd go and...
Yeah, did Flyer, of course. That became part of the route, especially if you was living in San Antonio, which we did mostly. I mean, we had I lived up here for one bit. We lived all over the place.
Yeah, no, you stay all over the island, don't you?
The thing about it is, I've been coming here, nearly 40 years now. Yeah. I've only missed 1 year, and that was COVID. Even when I cleaned up, I came here the next year. And
my 47th year.
Yeah. 47.
I came in 1980.
Wow,
But obviously you're coming on holiday, but I used to come at the beginning of the season, the end of the season. I loved it so much. But them days it was, there was no house music. It was normal discotheques and that sort of stuff. But still loved it, And then obviously 87, 88.
When you come here and you experience this anyway, it's different. There is a difference. I don't care what anyone says. And, through the years, people said, "Oh, that's going to be the new Ibiza." I said, "No such thing."
Yeah, Ibiza's Ibiza. Yeah.
There's no such thing as the new Ibiza. It's going to be something. All it is something different to Ibiza. It's not the new Ibiza. There's no going to be ever be a new Ibiza.
We've heard that for years and years, haven't we?
And nothing's new. It's still, look at it.
Yeah.
Busier than ever. More popular than ever. More expensive than ever. But people come, and regardless, 50 years of Amnesia, the exhibition in there.
Yeah. Fantastic. 50 years. Yeah.
I've got my name on the 2 or 3 posters in there. I didn't forget to mention, but you're there.
Yeah, you're there. The history.
Well, it's just I'm honoured. Yeah. I really am, because there's been some incredible. If you look at the journey on the wall, it says Amnesia, like 90.
I'm a bit gutted that none of my posters are in there, but Amnesia wasn't my main focus. I did Wild Wednesdays and did a few.
Yeah, you did Mad on Mondays at Passion, and Passion Coup, and then Paradise. Yes,
I did do parties at Amnesia.
But I mean, Amnesia, back for me, it was just wonderful. I mean, all this stuff was wonderful. Yeah. All its stuff at the moment was there. Paradise with the roof off, Pasha up in the funky room as well. Wonderful.
We would love to know, who has influenced you the most on the island? Who have you looked up to? And
me.
Yeah, who have you looked up to? Oh, yeah.
I said my peers who are the DJ. Look, I've got many friends.
I take for instance, obviously Brasilio was a big thing for me because he gave us our first chance.
Well, look, Pep Brasilio, because obviously Pep saw something in me and Alex, and just dived straight in the moment we met, and he helped me on my journey. But then we met the other DJs that helped. Carlos Diaz, Juan from Nightlife. Just because, you know, we used to pop past them, and there was Julian at Simples, all those people in the West End who we used to like, walk past and look after us. Got so many friends around the island. And all the people I mentioned earlier, Roberto and Ernesto, really old friends from Space Days, and you know, and Cesar playing in Cool.
We started them on the beach, you know, when they
Tahiti, you said.
They drove me mad, them two. They said, because I was doing all the parties, and then Alex and yourself was doing the space thing, and they kept saying, do a party with us, do a party. Anyway, I said, well, one week I've got the decks and everything. You and Alex were on the beach DJing. Well, you know what they said to me? There's too many people. I said, oh, get out of it. 2 weeks later, they're doing it on their own.
Yeah. And we were there every week, and we took everyone from space. It was great. So, I mean, look, I don't think there was any influences. So Alf Radio was a huge influence, I mean, musically. Obviously, Brother Rest His Soul.
Everyone says Alf Radio, because he was. I mean, and PP and Cesar, you know, they all had influence on all our DJs. There's no doubt about that.
I mean, literally, you come here and you hear a whole range of different music than just, you know, you actually don't hear disco music when you first came here, but there would be a room somewhere where you could, but it wasn't about it. It was expanding your mind to listen to techno, early doors, Valencia, Bacalao techno, and German techno, and Balearic new beat, and also, Belgian new beat,
and also the sunsets and all that. I mean, that was opening our mind to the slower music with the sunsets and all that.
Chill out.
Jose, Rest His Soul as well. We've got all these people are past now, but they have so huge impact on these. That sunset at Cafe Del Mar has got to be one of the world phenomenons.
I've been going there literally since
1980. He curated.
He didn't start to 90 though, but it was always where we went.
I get that, but that whole thing of him doing Jose's sunsets, he created that, he curated that music so it fitted perfectly with every moment that sun was going down until that.
He was the main guy. He created that.
And there was nothing else in the world that did that. So it was all, and it's always been about that experience, isn't it? This is what is so unique about the island, is creating these experiences.
I know people that literally have specifically just gone to Ibiza because of the sunset.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people we've seen crying at sunset?
Yeah, I cried the other year. I mean, my mum passed and there was a record played, and I was thinking about the years I spent here. And remember this, before mobiles, you'd save up your 500 Peseta pieces, and at the end of the week, you'd go and stand in the phone box and load them up and say, everything all right in England, everything all right, I'll see you in a month, or see you in 2 months, see you in 3 months.
Yeah, we tried to explain to the viewers, because most people don't understand that there was no mobile phones, there was no internet, there was no computers. Nothing. It was flyers, posters, and word of mouth. That's what we did, didn't we?
I'll tell you what funny thing. When mobiles first started, I had a pal who used to get like phones first off, and so I'd always come out here with a new blower. So there was one time me and Alex were walking from across the waist bit between Kenya and Mambo, I think it was that. Anyway, so I had this new phone, Nokia. By the time I got from Mambo, I'd lost it. we was talking about it and then lost track and dropped that, and it was it. Ta-da, that phone was gone.
Quick fire questions. Favourite restaurant?
Sacapella.
Sacapella, beautiful. A lot of people say Sacapella. Beautiful.
Expensive now, though. Go on.
And Javier owns it now as well.
Of course, there you go.
Favourite beach?
Oh, Benirras.
Benirras, yeah, with the drums and everything.
Yeah, but I went there before all that drumming started. I ended up there I got on a boat one morning to Calabasa, but we went across and then ended up Benirras. Don't ask me how, but I spent the day there. It was wonderful. But I like Salinas as well.
Salinas great, yeah. I mean, me, it's Escavalet.
Well, Escavalet is lovely as well, but I remember one day at Salinas, I decided that my mission would be to walk to San Ann from Salinas.
That's a long way.
I thought I knew the direction, and I thought I'm going to head that way, and I headed up into the hills on my own.
That's fatal. That's fatal.
I woke up 5 hours later on a pine forest.
It's only a little island, but it's huge when you start walking.
It's a long way to walk. I woke up in a pine forest full of pine needles.
Mental.
I managed to walk down the other side and ended up in a tiny village where no one spoke English and didn't have a telephone.
You didn't speak a lot of Spanish at the time.
And then I managed to wend my way out of this village. It was getting a bit like The Hills Have Eyes. Yeah. And then I ended up going out on this main road. It turns out I'd literally walked in a big circle, and I'd come out the entrance of Salinas. It'd take me 6 hours.
Brilliant.
Oh,
brilliant.
wow, how funny.
But I mean, the early days, I mean, when I did Coup on a Monday night, all the Brits would have done all their dough, and they had to walk back to San Antonio, to the one road that goes all the way back.
That dangerous road as well,
dangerous road, and there would be thousands of Brits walking down that road back to San Antonio. It's pretty crazy.
I remember
really.
one night, I'd been out on one of my sessions. I came back home and we was all living together, me, Alex and Baggy. And Alex, do you remember he had his motorbike, the GSXR, the Suzuki? I came back.
I brought it over here on the back of my trailer.
That's right, you did. So I remember I'd gone back into the apartment in Portes Torrent where we were staying, and them two had stripped it. The whole bike, took it apart, the whole thing.
They're trying to fix it, or they're just off their nut.
Just wanted to clean it. They've been in there for 2 days. With his
trying to put it back together.
Yeah, they managed to get it back together, but it was bits everywhere. And I walked in off my head, kicking bits all over the cabin. Get out! What are you doing? I'm going on a date. I went, all right, I'm off.
There's so many stories, mate.
Oh, mate. PD. Oh, my God.
PD was. PD's here.
Is he here?
He's here. He's here. Listen, Paul Dennis. What people don't realise about Paul Dennis. I mean, the London scene. I'm going to give him a global club and dance because the Raid and he did so much.
Legends, the Raid.
I mean, look, Manumission wouldn't be here without Tommy and Paul Dennis. They started it with him. With them. Yeah. So, a big part of the island. Lived here forever.
Paul ripped up, when they first introduced £50 notes, we was in space and Paul had a load of 50s and we had no money, but anyway, he ripped up 50 me and Alex. We found every bit of it, stuck them back together with sellotape, and he said, gives them back. We're going out.
He was mental. I mean, listen, we all love PD, don't we? But yeah, we're definitely going to do Paul Dennis, definitely, yeah.
I love hearing about your stories. What I would really love to hear from you is musically over the years on this island, if you were to think of maybe just 3 tracks, what would sort of really emulate to you, like Ibiza?
Well, I mean, for the early days back in space, it was so Plastic Dreams.
Yeah, great track.
I would associate that a lot with here. Also, Jam and Spoon, Stella.
Yeah. Okay.
And look, some of the soul music, like stuff like Someday, C.C. Rogers. We used to play the American house garage stuff and Fast Eddie back then. So I mean, there's many tracks, but those the Plastic Dreams definitely.
Yeah, really stands out for you.
Lil Louis French Kiss.
Oh yes, yeah.
Early Doors, but another, and some Balearic tunes, Kalija, Jabaro.
I love Jabaro. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people mention Jabaro. Yeke.
Oh God, yeah, Yeke. It was a huge one in space. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Yeah, it opened so many doors musically, unbelievably so. Fantastic. We love Ibiza.
We still love it.
We still love Ibiza. We just have our moments, but we still love Ibiza.
Yeah. It's like a marriage, isn't it?
It's a hard one to stay in, but you do.
Yeah, you do.
Weather the storm, you talk to each other, communicate, you share your views, saying what you're not happy about, and then it all comes back together again.
So Brandon, the future, what's going on? Why are you here at the IMS?
So I'm here at the IMS International Music Summit, which has been going now for quite some time. It's like I suppose a gathering of people in the music community and on all levels. But now, the thing that's very important, great networking event, but the thing that's very important now is obviously the well-being and people's mental health, because without a level of mental health, it's very hard to function. So I've been working in that environment for quite a few years now, and I was very honoured to being asked by Johnny to come and do a talk about recovery and called After the After Party. So it's going to be a conversation about the work I do and how my journey, because I was sent home from here, or asked to leave in '96.
Yeah, for your own benefit.
My own sake, my own well-being, because I was really unwell, and my party had just literally gone beyond partying.
Over-partied yourself.
Over-partied, and I had to go home, and it was actually that would have been, if I had stayed, I wouldn't be here, and if I hadn't gone home then and gone and did found my journey and went on my path of I need to get well, I would not be here. And I was given 2 weeks to live when I went home, and literally I went in October 26th was when I went to detox for 3 weeks, and I came out and never relapsed.
Brilliant.
But, amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
you had no choice, mate, though, did you? You had no choice.
No, Al, this is the thing. You do have a choice. I had a choice. I chose to live. It's like that choose life, isn't it, out of Trainspotting. Yeah. I chose to live because, I could quite easily, my mentor, the psychiatrist who saw me, who I say is my saviour, said to me, if you carry on, he said, I don't know how long you will live, you walk out this door. He said, your heart will give up. I can guarantee you. He said, if you don't come in this week, I think you're on the way. And I said, so well, I'll come in on the Monday. And he went, okay.
But it was a life of excess, wasn't it?
It was an existence. By the time of my end of my using, let's say, it was a life of existence. It wasn't excess, it wasn't even gone beyond that.
Okay.
It was existing. and it was horrible.
Well, you did the right thing. You did
Yeah, of course.
you
I've got
changed your
I've got
life.
wonderful memories up until that last sort of 6 months, which is I care not to remember, and I've forgotten about it, to be honest now.
Yeah.
It doesn't even enter my thinking now, which is good. But it was not very nice.
Now you're helping other people.
Yeah, I've done it for a while, and you know that's the giving back. That's the soul filler. Yeah. Because I think we're humans. We need to give back. We have that empathy. Regardless where we look, that's why we want. You see someone fall over, you pick them up. You see someone needs a hand with a suitcase on a train, you help them out.
Bit of a good advice now and again, stuff like that.
And it could be one little word of advice which changes someone's thinking for the good, and you just hope that that's a thing that can happen.
Kudos to you, because we need more people in the industry to speak about this.
I've been speaking about it for years. I've been very outspoken about it. Even Mixmag did an interview with me when I was in the detox, because back then we didn't know about that. We didn't know about drug addiction or the problems that would come along with it, because we was all partying, man. We were just having a good time. And I took it to the max, and I was the first to get into trouble, and the first to do something about it, pretty much. And I'm still here
to tell the story.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not frightened to say. I'm not frightened to say how I'm feeling. I'm not frightened to say how things are affecting me. I will talk about it, and it's the only way it works.
You got to let it out, haven't you? You gotta let it out.
And I think for me, that moment when I went to see Bill Shanahan, my mentor, it was that engaging. It's that that the fear of, what do I do now? Because back then there was no information. You couldn't have the internet. You didn't have the support groups. Well, and anonymous groups existed, but they were very anonymous at the time. It was very stigmatised. It weren't, you can't shout like, hey, like now you can go and say, I've got a problem with drugs. You can say it, and people go, right, let's help you. You said that back then, you go, oh dear, really?
Yeah. There was stigma. Yeah, you're right.
It's total stigma. And although that wasn't my route of journey, let's say, for necessarily, I did for some period of time. But then I went on my own. It probably wasn't the best thing, but there's a lot of awareness now, and it keeps getting better slowly. Because there's a lot of variables around drug use and stuff and clubs and stuff. Because people still want to escape, but as long as we give them the information to know that this is what could happen. This is what you need to know, then you can make a confirmed choice, or an informed choice, let's say. I always say you've got a choice.
Yeah.
No one's going to say, you do that.
Yeah.
You're not going to say to yourself, I have to do that. You can say, I don't have to do it. Or I can say, do I want to? Do I need to? I can choose if I want to do it. And that's, as long as you say, I have a choice, your brain will go, right, okay, oh God, do I have a choice? It's when you go, I don't have a choice, I need to do it, I have to do it. And you go, as you get into problematic behaviour. But if you can say to yourself, right, I've got a choice, and then you have an informed moment of clarity and say, do I choose to do that, or do I choose this? Which either way, what's going to be better for me? So you've got the answers, you've got the pros and you've got the cons.
Yeah.
So I'm going to end up there if I do that again. And if I don't do that again, I'm going to end up here. And the thing about we fear is uncertainty. We're not good in uncomfortable situations, which is why we go to our old behaviours, because we know it.
Yeah.
The reason why it's scary is when you say, if I say no to, let's say, for a drug or a drink, I'm in this environment, how's that going to feel? It takes a long time to get over those social anxieties which we create, and be in an environment and go, right, I want to stand in a nightclub for 10 hours. And chances are you probably won't. I mean, yes, you can immerse yourself in the music, but 10 hours is a long time.
Yeah.
The thing about this place was, we weren't educating people, we were experimenting with people.
We were.
And not only clubbers, DJs, promoters, everyone who's here was experimenting with everything. We experimented with music, what worked, what makes people feel good. I go, I might play that, why not? And then people go, he's played that. Not like, oh God, you can't play that. It was like, what a tune to hear. Or what, oh my God, that brings back some memories. And it's not like traditional, that's it. This is way out the other side. And you go, oh my God, wow. So I suppose it's about, experience and, I seem to digress. I'm not labelling what I have, but I think we've all struggled with our concentration over the years.
All I can say is keep up the good work, mate.
Oh, mate, listen, I'm not going to change. Well, I will change, but, thank you for that.
Unfortunately, we're all changing. So look, the whole reason of being here today is to induct you into our Ibiza Hall of Fame.
I'm honoured, mate.
And I'm honoured to give it to you, mate. Thank you very much for all the memories and music, mate.
Thanks for giving me the opportunity, mate. I've never actually thanked you for all those years ago.
It's a good thing for me. Starting people like yourself, Sasha, we're telling the stories of what really happened.
Without you, yeah, you're right, God, it was zigzag. Without you, I wouldn't be here. I was given that opportunity.
Okay, so that's all we have time for the Ibiza Hall of Fame podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and to follow us on all of our platforms. Take care. Bye.